We are slowly getting rid of all seeds in fruits and vegetables, which is a really cool thing for us because once we have all of the seeds and everything you buy is seedless, then we control all of the crops, all of the growing, and then we can make seeds incredibly expensive so that only billionaires can have gardens.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish you a smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Oh, so the cloud burst in India? Did y'all go see that cloud burst in India? What did I tell y'all about these clouds? What did I tell you? Some of y'all got in my comments and told me, oh, you're tripping. I told you from the start, they're not real clouds. Go look it up. The cloud burst in India that took out the whole damn village. Go now and go look it up. These clouds are not real. They're set up for a reason. We are in a film projector until you, some of y'all idiots, wake up and realize what's going on here. The more you know, the more you know. The more you grow. Chosen ones.
So I have never seen a cloudburst do something like this before, but apparently on August 5th of 2025, a massive cloudburst struck the village of Dharauli in northern India, triggering massive flash floods and mudslides. Apparently this event happened around 1:45 p.m. local time, approximately 4 kilometers from an Indian army camp in Harsil, and was compounded by another cloudburst in the nearby Suki area. Now Dharauli is apparently a key stopover point that's en route to a temple over there, and is a popular place for tourists from this massive mudslide torrent of water and debris. As of August 6th, the death toll stands at 5, with 1 additional body recovered from the rubble, while around 100 people remain missing, including several Indian Army personnel. Rescue operations are currently ongoing amid the challenging conditions like heavy rain and landslides, involving local authorities, the National Disaster Response Force, and the Indian Army, which has deployed teams for search and rescue efforts. Now, I know that they've confirmed 4 to 5 deaths, but I guarantee you that they're going to find a lot more people that are trapped and missing under this muddy water, because people were just covered up, and a lot of those folks didn't have any time to prepare because the water hit so fast and the mud hit so fast.
Some of that I had to trim out because it was some casualties.
खाल्डा बडा आएर छ खाल्डा बडा ओ मंगल बाबा 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 ठुलो आयो खटी आयो ठुलो आएर बा तँले बस्न किन झरेको र ठुलो आएर आमा ठुलो आयो खटिया मकान उछल गया यार खत्म क्या बोलना यार भगवान.
Never in my life have I ever heard of a cloudburst. This shit's crazy. So when y'all was DMing me and y'all was telling me, I seen so many DMs. I seen a lot. I seen a few comments. People like, bro, check the cloudburst that just happened in India. And I'm like, cloudburst? Send it to me. Y'all send it. Bro, are you serious? This shit crazy. One step to the art of war is to make your opponent or enemy uncomfortable. Why are we just hearing about a cloudburst if that should even be impossible? I've never heard of it. If y'all have heard of it, let me know. Because I've never heard of that. What it look like to me, for entertainment purposes, and what I'm saying is not true or real. This was a reset. Part of the reset or a hit. Something in that region something in that area that just got hit might have been valuable, and or somebody might have been about to change the world. Something, bro. They only do shit like this when y'all get what I mean, man. Prayers to anybody affected. That shit's crazy. If that can happen there, that shit can happen anywhere. Let me know if you've heard it. Let me know if you have heard of this happening anywhere else. Prayers to these people, bro. This shit's crazy. I can't believe I just saw that.
Just experienced something I've never seen in my entire life. They just got hit with a massive burst cloud. If you don't know what a burst cloud is well, the cloud forms and releases tons, thousands and thousands of liters of water at once. I'm talking about they just wiped out an entire village. I think the village was called Delari. It was a Delari, India. Delari, India.
If jets don't use fuel, why they charging people $20,000 to go one way? Also heard in commercial airplanes, the fuel goes in the wings and the belly of the plane. This is for educational purposes only. Share this video with someone you love, care, and respect. Watch the video until the end and comment below. Ever flown private or commercial and paid a lot of money?
I just cracked the code. I just went down this super deep rabbit hole, and I know for a fact that jets don't use any fuel to fly. Now, I know this might sound crazy, but stick with me. I promise you that there's something here. First of all, I want you to notice this. This is on the roof of an ancient Indian temple. An extremely and eerily similar design to an airline jet turbine. Let's take this one step further. These pillars on these ancient temples strongly resemble what a turbine looks like, the whole design of it. These pillars also rotate. Now, whether you're aware of it or not, these ancient temples were power plants. They generated free energy. Now, let's think about this for a second. We are told that a Boeing 747 carries 63,500 gallons of fuel. Where exactly do they put all of this? This is a 60,000 gallon water tank. Just for reference, guys, just think for a second. They say that the fuel is stored in the wings. Where? How does that make any sense to you? This is where this gets really interesting. I was doing some research, and this is what I came across, and it made a whole lot of sense to me. So I'm just going to read this for you guys. There's an airplane called the Airbus A380. It weighs 575 tons. Now, to make this absolute mammoth leave the ground and not slam back down to the earth 1 second later, they use ultrasonic levitation, superconductivity, and pulse magnetic zero-point Meissner fields. Jet fuel only powers the turbines to start up, and they cut off from combustion and switch to etheric energy once they reach a certain speed. And this happens when there is a good flow of electrostatic electricity. This is quite literally ancient tech, Partarian technology, Nikola Tesla's technology. Think about this. Examine how long it takes them to pump fuel in between flights. 60,000 gallons. It literally only takes a few minutes. It almost takes a passenger car less time to fill up a plane. A passenger car requires 2,000 times less fuel. Even if this pump was pumping 10 times more fuel than an average pump at the gas station, it would take them roughly 17 hours to fill up 60,000 gallons. 60,000 gallons in these wings? Are you serious? And when we start to assess the intricate design of these turbines and how they're not really used anywhere else in the world except for jet engines, it's kind of interesting, right? Don't you think it's possible that they stole this technology from our ancient ancestors, hiding free energy in plain sight, and as well as charging us out the ass to get on a plane because of all the jet fuel that they gotta consume? This also would explain contrails and how planes just spray straight up water vapor and then it just disappears. Unlike, a combustion engine from the back of our cars that have a different type of smoke. This is a chemtrail. This stays in the air forever and disperses and blocks out the sun. Beyond the point, that's a contrail. And that would explain contrails, right? Am I crazy or is this making sense to you guys?
There's a skeleton inside the human body that we cannot see, but we can control using this guy. And it was so complex that the ancient Egyptians and Tibetans created an entire culture and science around decoding it. So where do we get it? Plants. For example, if a leaf gets cut, then plants can signal to other plants there's imminent danger. Special type of plasma photography can be used to recreate the electric skeleton of the cut leaf. It's called the phantom leaf effect. Every time a cell divides, regions of high energy plasma form around that split boundary, an indicator something is alive, and humans have this skeleton too, which has been used to detect the earliest stages of... How does it work? Each cell has a voltage. Scaffolding in the cell called microtubules can tell the voltage across all the different parts. This tells proteins where to go. These define the cell's geometry the same way your phone defines my geometry. These are the tubes, and you'll notice they connect to other cells. Those tubes are exactly what you see when a cell divides and pulls itself apart into two pieces. When it does that, it creates something called a gap junction. That way the cell can share energy and matter and information. Using a special dye, you can get these channels to light up. Shifts in the membrane voltage will determine if a cell splits or stays doing cell stuff. But how does one cell know where to put itself to grow into an entire organism's form? How does this cell here know it needs to grow a root thing here? Well, it appears that is not in the organism itself. The final form may be stored outside of the organism. Dr. Michael Levin is a Harvard professor, and he works with these planarian flatworms. If you cut them, all the pieces grow into a new worm. By adjusting the voltage on those gaps we just talked about, he was able to grow a worm with two heads, and one with two tails, and one with a head on its side, and a tadpole with an eye on its tail, and a frog with another arm. If we crack the code to the human skeleton, we could regrow limbs or repair organs internally ourselves. We're looking at a liquid light skeleton that's absolutely real. Biophotons are the blueprint, bioplasma builds it. If you were from ancient Tibet, you would call this the rainbow light body. If you were from ancient Egypt, you'd call it the Merkaba. So if plants can maintain this skeleton, can we? Is our form that we grew still present if we die? Where does the energy come from that plugs us into this vehicle? Well, I'm gonna have to make a part 2 for that because of the attention span thing. If you can't wait for that, there is way more here. I will see you.
But I thought we already knew what happened. I guess not. Vladimir Putin is talking about releasing information about 9/11. And I guess it's far worse than even the conspiracies we've heard about it. Oh, goody. Could it be worse, though? I guess so. But he's not just gonna stop there. Vladimir also wants to release information about our food chain supply. Okay. Apparently, our food could be a lot worse than we've ever thought so. Oh, goody. Is our food real? Is it not real? Now, apparently, the proof he has for both situations is undeniable, including satellite images of what actually transpired on 9/11. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that will shake the world up.
I don't give a f I lose my account from this video. You need to know the truth. USA Congress is trying to get our money to fund the retirement of IDF soldiers. If you don't believe me, fine. But believe Congress. Here it is, HR 8445. Eligibility of USA citizens who serve in the Israeli Defense Forces for certain protections relating to such service. Meaning, retirement fund and benefits paid for by you and me, American citizens. This is treason. Our government is trying to pass legislation that would require our money to fund a foreign nation's military's retirement. This is beyond treason. You need to spread this video, share, like, save, and comment with everyone you know, because this is ludicrous.
I need to look into that. Make sure that's even real.
We're all being here. You understand that, right? Like, you've got to let go of your left versus right, red versus blue. You've got to let go of that. It is top versus bottom, and they're in the ass, and they always have been, okay? While they convince us to fight each other because they pretend to fight each other on screen, at the end of the day, they're going to the same dark, smoky room, sipping brandy and laughing their asses off at us, okay? Look, we've all been convinced that, you know, it's not important to pair bond and have a family and do the important things in life, because those truly are the important things. That's enjoying your home and the people you care about. You've been told that that makes you lazy and you're not a good contributing member of society. You're a worker bee is what you are, and they can't allow you off that hamster wheel. And that used to be just the case for like vacations and things like that. That's why it's so fucking expensive to fly a round trip anywhere else in the world, hell, anywhere else in the country. But you got baristas from Australia and Germany coming and spending a month here because it's so cheap for them. That's the point. They want it to be a pain in the ass for you to go anywhere or do anything that takes you too far away from your hamster wheel. And look, they've got half of us convinced that you're lazy and entitled because you feel like people should have the right food and shelter and education and the right to go to the hospital if you get injured or get sick. Those aren't privileges. Those are things as a society that we should want to contribute to. Well, not with my tax dollars. What the do you mean? What do you want that money to go to? Do you want that money to go to Israel? To Ukraine? Is that where you want it to go? To go blow up children in some other country that you can't even find on the map, but God forbid somebody gets to go to the hospital when they break their leg? What the are we doing here? And I know that feels like an attack on the right. You're not getting away from this either, left. I mean, God, y'all have so bought in to the obvious Project Mockingbird propaganda where the media just wants you spun the up and upset about everything. Everything. Everybody's. Look, if everything is, then nothing is. Everyone's a, then no one's a. We have got to let go of these narratives that we've been spoon-fed, and we just digest and move along and regurgitate over everyone that we come in contact with. And the reason you do it, look, I know you feel smart because you're saying the right words, and some of them are big. You're not. You don't have an honest, original thought in your head. If I can predict the next 5 things coming out of your mouth, because I also watch a balance of CNN and Fox News, so I can understand the enemy, and the enemy is the people that are deliberately cratering the middle class in the country. Do you not understand? And look, I understand the narrative going around now. They're like, well, AI and these automation and robots and stuff, they'll never take all our jobs, because if nobody has jobs, they won't have any money to buy their products and services, and then those companies will go under. We're past that. We've crossed that Rubicon. They don't care. What they're doing is everything they can to milk the last bit out of you to train their fucking for the automation. Because once none of us have jobs or money and we're all starving and homeless and dying off, they don't need us anymore. Because in the time it took us to train our replacements, they're not replacing us at our jobs. They're replacing us to do all of the shit for the people that are left, that had the means to leech every amount of value, every tangible cool asset you could own, whether it be yachts or mansions or movie theaters in your basement or a bowling alley in your attic, which sounds crazy, but they're rich enough to do it. They're doing all of this on purpose, so when none of us are left, they don't, because their lives are already awesome, and they don't need me or you to write the TPS reports or have the meeting about the meeting. They don't need people that may or may not have come here legally or not just because they were struggling to find a better way to live. I wish they'd have come here the right way, but they didn't, and a lot of times they're doing shit we don't want to do, kind of like cleaning those rich people's toilets or tending their vast lawns and ranches and shit like that. I know that sounds up, stay with me. They don't need those people anymore either, because there will be bots run by AI that can handle the shrubbery, that can clean the toilet. There's no longer meetings about meetings because there's no menial jobs anymore. It's all been done. We're reaching the end game. Wake the up.
Well, he said a lot there, didn't he? Some of that was needed to be said. Very well said. Some of it. How y'all feel? Who agreeing? Who disagreeing? I just think it's time for us all to just look. We're not all meant to agree. We're not all meant to see eye to eye. But there's one thing we do see eye to eye with. There's some things wrong with the world. There's some people in charge that don't do what they're supposed to be doing. And when I say in charge, I'm not talking about red and blue. I'm talking about royal families. I'm talking about certain people who will own islands. Not people, certain families that own islands. We know a person that own an island, but there's more than just him that have access to certain islands and access and power over certain shit to keep shit going. So they can stay in line. So they can stay where they're at on the totem pole. Again, I'm not talking about no red or no blue. I'm talking deeper than that. So if somebody want to throw the red and the blue out, I'm not really even going to entertain that, because I'm talking way deeper than that. I need somebody to reach me on that level. So I feel like we all can agree on that. But y'all let me know if y'all see otherwise. If you do, no disrespect. Stand on your truth. Let me know your thoughts and opinions.
Did you know that you could spend 5 years in jail for disrespecting Israel in America? Yeah, well, this is a thing now. Starting in August, if you burn the Israeli flag, spit on the Israeli flag, say anything bad about Israel online, or even tell a friend to boycott Israel, you could spend up to 5 years in jail and pay a $20 million fine. And this is all because of the US government's contract with the Israeli AI company Palantir. A part of the One Big Beautiful Bill is allocating $250 billion to Palantir that will collect an AI database of everything you do online, also scanning our license plates while we drive in the United States. They will then collect all of this data and determine before you commit a crime if you're a high-risk individual. And in doing so, if you say anything negative about Israel, they're going to put you in a category, even if you just repost a video. And once you're in this high watch category, if you do something like post too much about this now qualifies as a which will be a felony. Share and like this video so we can spread the word and take our country back.
Is this true?
What's that? Oh, scientists in Australia have discovered a way to speed up, slow down, and even reverse time? Tell me more. Yeah, these scientists have discovered how to speed up, slow down, or even reverse time. Now, they're still in the early stages of this, but can you imagine slowing down, reversing, stopping, going back in time? That sounds so fun. So essentially, they're talking about time travel here. Now, we've had evidence of time travel in the past, such as the guy coming out of the shed, and he was 20 or 30 years old. He came out as 60 years old. We've had evidence of pictures taken when people were holding phones, when phones weren't even invented yet. A bunch of strange things such as that. Okay, then. So it's likely that this isn't anything new, but it might just be a way to slowly let the people know that time travel has been around for a while, yet they're going to act like it's just starting to happen just now. So that's so amazing.
We know they've been able to do this shit for I don't know how long now.
Did you know shaking your body is actually ancient wisdom? When you shake your head vigorously, it breaks the grip of stagnant energies, just like an animal shaking off water. That movement clears stuck chi from the neck, brainstem, and sinuses, which are common spots for spiritual parasites. It also pushes energy into the pineal gland and crown, creating a flash of high frequency, something attachments can't stand. But here's the catch. If the attachment is rooted in, shaking only loosens it. That's why it can come back. The full release comes with 3 steps: disruption, eviction, and sealing. Shake the body, speak with authority, then seal the space with salt, herbs, oils, or sound. Your body already knows, now you know why it works.
According to the Akashic Records, can you give us a step-by-step guide that will allow for us to regain our telepathic abilities?
According to the Akashic Records, telepathy is not a superpower. It is a natural soul ability that has been largely dormant in humanity due to centuries of fear-based programming, environmental interference, and disconnection from our energetic bodies. Gaining telepathy is not about learning something new, but rather remembering what your soul already knows. Here is a step-by-step guide to help you reclaim your telepathic abilities from a soul-level perspective. Step 1. Purify your energy field. Before telepathy can return, your field must become clear enough to send and receive subtle impressions without distortion. Practice daily grounding. Use techniques like walking barefoot, visualization of roots into the earth, or touching trees. Detox from psychic static, limit media, violent imagery, or social environments that flood your aura with chaotic energy. Energy hygiene rituals, smudging, salt baths, sound bowls, and calling in your guides to clear your field of stagnant energies. Step 2. Activate the third eye and heart coherence. Telepathy is not just mind to mind, it's heart mind to heart mind. The heart is the transmitter and the third eye is the receiver. Pineal gland practices. Try darkroom meditation, sun gazing carefully, or listening to binaural beats at 963 hertz. Heart coherence. Breathe slowly into your heart center and visualize golden or emerald light expanding from it. Mantras. Repeat ancient sound codes like Om or Mem to attune the brain-heart channel to cosmic frequencies. Step 3. Strengthen clairaudience and claircognizance. These are the inner senses that allow you to hear thoughts or just know the transmission. Daily silence. Create moments of pure stillness. No input, no music, no stimulation. Intuitive journaling. Ask questions and allow answers to arise without filtering them. Over time, this becomes mental telepathy. Practice inner listening. Ask your soul or guides a question and wait for the very first impression, word, image, or feeling. Trust it. Step 4. Telepathic pair practice. Practice with a partner who is also awakening spiritually. You don't need to speak aloud. Start with simple exercises like sending shapes, colors, or numbers. Use heart focus to send love with the image. Then switch to emotions or words, always checking for resonance and accuracy. Step 5. Recode ancestral and karmic blocks. Many souls carry wounds from lifetimes where telepathy was punished or misused. These blocks must be gently released. Akashic healing. Ask your higher self or soul guides to reveal and clear any lifetimes where your psychic gifts were feared or shut down. It is safe to remember. It is safe to receive. My telepathic abilities serve love and light. Forgiveness rituals. Release fears of manipulation, betrayal, or being misunderstood that may be energetically stored. Step 6. Raise your frequency. Telepathy functions on higher vibrational bandwidths. You cannot stay in low vibration and expect to receive clear soul transmissions. Eat living foods, hydrate with structured water, and avoid overstimulation, sugar, caffeine, stress. Meditate daily, even if for 5 minutes. Silence is the soil where telepathy grows. Live in integrity. The cleaner your thoughts and intentions, the more clearly you receive from others. Step 7. Remember, you already know how. In the Akashic Records, most awakened souls have lived lifetimes in Lemuria, Atlantis, or other galactic civilizations where telepathy was the norm. This ability is stored in your soul's crystalline memory. Invoke memory reactivation. I now call back the memory of my soul's telepathic ability across all time, space, and dimension. Pay attention to dreams, déjà vu, or moments when you just know what someone's about to say. These are signs of reactivation.
That was dope.
I'm gonna say this one time real loud with my full chest, so go ahead and hear me out on this one. If working is mandatory, if labor is something we are required to do in order to prove we deserve our existence, if we have no choice but to choose an occupation whether or not we want it. If you are forcing me to sell my body to do somebody else's labor and telling me I have no other choice and neither does anyone else, you shouldn't have any other choice but to give us a roof over our heads, food for our stomachs, and whatever else we need to survive! If you want us to be forced to work, but do not want to guarantee life necessities, that is slavery, you This country loves slavery! They just rebranded it! And don't tell me to leave! I would if I had the money! But that's the whole point of this system, you dumb.
Very well said. They rebranded this shit, man. They rebranded this shit. They rebranded it, bro. Some people like to say no, but that's just, to me, in my opinion, no disrespect, that's just to people who, they're naive to the fact and don't really want to accept the truth. And that's part of the problem why we can't stop the shit from happening. Cause and your back's against the wall. You can't just say I'm done today, I ain't going back. And then the company hires somebody else. Now you out of money. Now your babies don't eat. So this shit's it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy how we allow them to put us in a chokehold like this. They got their foot on our necks. That's what we gotta figure a way around this shit.
Humans have always wanted to own you. The blueprint was the company town. Mining towns, textile towns, logging camps. You lived in company housing, shopped at the company store, got paid in company script, only good inside the company's own system. You couldn't save, you couldn't leave, and you were trapped by design. And if you think that sounds like ancient history, look around. You rent from corporate landlords. You bank with corporations. Your healthcare is tied to your job. You spend half your paycheck giving it right back to Amazon, Kroger, Exxon, or your landlord's hedge fund. All funneled to BlackRock, State Street, or Vanguard, eventually, one way or the other. The company's script, the US dollar, means less and less with each passing day. You think you're free because you don't see guards at the gate, yet debt, rent, medical bills keep you locked within the system. The company town never ended. The company store still owns your soul. The company controls your pay, your retirement, your health, your food, your car, your house, your time, your energy, your existence on this earth. They want to legislate your preferences, choices, love life, afterlife, how and where you spend their money, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read. But other than that, you're absolutely free.
There is a very dark secret for why crows are illegal to own as pets, and I'm gonna break it all down for you. And make sure you watch to the end because this is mind-blowing. Now, a lot of people think that crows are illegal to own because they can be trained to steal money from people, but the real reason is much deeper than this. Now, crows can actually analyze and remember specific human faces. And not only this, but they can actually pass this information onto their offspring and their friends. So if you do good things to a crow, like give it food, it will remember your face, and it will pass that information onto its friends and its offspring, letting them know that you are an ally. Think about how crazy that is. Human beings do not possess that capability. Now, the same thing works on the flip side. If you harm a crow, it will hold a grudge for over 7 years, and it will tell all its friends and its offspring that you are a coward. Now think about this. Because crows can differentiate between friend and foe, enemy and ally, what if they can pass that information on to us? What if they can tell us who our enemies are and who our friends are? Something that the system and the controllers of this world definitely wouldn't want, hey? Now, crows and ravens were highly depicted throughout many ancient cultures. They were known as the messengers between the spiritual and the physical realm, carrying information and wisdom from the spiritual to the physical and vice versa. Again, a big reason why they wouldn't want us communicating with them, because it threatens the current control mechanisms of this system. Crows are also extremely intelligent beings. They can be compared to that of a 7 or 10-year-old child. Even that's debatable. They're probably smarter. Why is it that all of these intelligent creatures in nature, they make it illegal to communicate with and to own? Dolphins, mammals, crows and ravens. But we can own all sorts of other pets and creatures and communicate with them. Really makes you wonder what they're truly hiding and why they don't want us to form relationships with these incredibly intelligent creatures. It's like they're trying to sever the connection with us and Mother Nature itself.
They just want to spoon feed us the indoctrination and the lies that the system wants us to believe. You think it's just a coincidence that just recently crows have been given such a bad rap? They've been associated with death and negative omens? In fact, the Catholic Church played a major role in shaping cultural beliefs around crows and ravens. They equated them with demons, witches, and the devil. Also associated with death, witchcraft, and evil omens. Which is interesting because cultures like the Celtics, the Norse, native traditions referred to crows as sacred, as wise, and divine messengers. Now, as most of you guys know, I am an incredibly spiritual person, and I have had incredible experiences with these creatures. I know for a fact that they're tapped into the spiritual realm, which would be a massive threat to the church if people started to figure this out. Because the church isn't about spirituality, it's about externalizing everything. Spirituality is internal, and the real truth to everything is found within ourselves. Peace and love.
Yo, that's crazy because there used to be a lot of crows by my grandmother's house. And one day I'm chilling in a room and there was a cat under the tree. And these crows was all they was all in a tree, but they was all in unison. And then all of a sudden you see the cat dart under the car. And he's looking under the car up at the crows. But at first we didn't know it was even a cat. We was like, I come out the room, my grandmother gets up, we look out the front door. We had a screen on the door. So we looking through it, we like, what they going so crazy for? Then I see the cat. I'm like, oh, the cat. That's the only thing I could think of. And then the cat kind of like, the cat came from under the car and they still going crazy, and then he just went down the street, but he didn't even take off running like he was scared. It was like he just left the area, and then the crows started to stop. I don't know what that was. I can't tell you, but that was weird. Now hearing this, I've heard that before, but I'm like, what if the cat got into it with one of them crows and they passed that off? Or what if the cat was just a negative energy? Or what if it was not a cat and it was something else? I don't know, man. I can't tell you. But that's the first thought I thought of when I seen the crows.
Ever noticed that the lush green United States looks like a 6,000 kiloton bomb went off right around Yellowstone and blew away everything to the south and west of it? Unless old man America just suddenly went bald there from aging, something just doesn't add up. By no coincidence, this is right where the Lake Cannabis was located on maps up until the early 1800s and never seen again after. This lake or sea, Cannabis, was 130 miles long by 111 miles wide. You can still see the heart-shaped imprint of it on Google Maps today, which matches the same shape the ancient cartographers used on their maps. You'll also notice that both the Grand Canyon and the Glen Canyon start clearly at the perimeter of this ancient dried-up lake bed. On these maps before 1650, notice California as part of the mainland, Lake Cannabis to its northeast, and the remarkable absence of the 5 Great Lakes in the Midwest. We can see that cartographers from the 15 and 1600s already possessed very detailed knowledge of the towns and peoples in these lands, yet failed to map or mention the biggest lakes in the world. Then when did they appear? Where did they come from? And what massive event created them?
What if it was when the reptilians landed here?
Consciousness works like a radio. In silence, your ears are always ringing. That's not tinnitus, but the electromagnetic spectrum itself. If you separate the high and low tones, you will feel your brain begin to hemispherically sync. Now, this is documented in the Monroe Institute. Science calls it hemispherical synchronization. You're tuning into the broadcast of existence. The frequencies that you're tuned into are always there. Awareness just makes them audible.
How many states make up the United States? 6. Yes. What's 3 times 3 times 3?
12? No, 9.
Oh, but you almost messed up there. Who did the U.S. gain our independence from?
I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah, if you had to guess.
I'm gonna say George Washington again.
Yes. Who fought in the Civil War?
Donald Trump. And Joe Biden.
No, the Civil War.
Donald Trump. Yeah, and Joe Biden.
Yes. What state is Chicago in?
Chicago. I don't know.
Yes. Do you know what language the people in Idaho speak?
Idahoan?
How did you know that? Yes. What country is Mount Rushmore in?
Not what?
Mount Rushmore? The tallest mountain in the world?
I don't know.
Guess. Guess a country.
Russia?
You're a genius.
I can't believe some of these answers, man. Where the schools at? Damn.
What's that? Oh, a girl was doing research on the Rothschilds and then the very next day had a wild incident that completely freaked her out? Tell me more. Yeah, after this girl was doing research on the Rothschilds and how they've risen to where they're at and how they've taken over practically everything in the world and how she didn't like them for that and the things that they've done, the very next day, a guy, as she's walking her dog, comes sprinting towards her and yells, "Rothschilds," and freaks her out. She starts to back up and wasn't sure what was about to happen, but then the guy took off the other direction, got into an unmarked van and drove off. Oh, fun! After driving off and then getting home to her residence, there was a note on her door saying, "Be careful who you talk about and how you talk about them." Oh, goody! However, it didn't stop there. Her phone started ringing that night at about 2 in the morning, and all they would say on the phone is Rothschilds, and then would hang up. Goody!
Damn. Think that's Cat?
Y'all like my stories about the paranormal activity that I experienced in Chicago? Well, here we go, story time again. This time is a story time about how I got possessed while I was sleeping at a park. And the spirit almost killed me. Y'all, if you would have asked me, I was back in the 90s. It was hot as it's the summertime. I'm laying in my bed just being a beautiful fat kid. And then I hear my friends' voices yelling through my bedroom window for me to get up. As I'm walking to the window, I can hear their feet running down the gangway back to the front of the house. For the people who don't know what a gangway is, in Chicago, our houses are close together, but they're still far apart, if that makes any sense. And in between our houses, we have walkways that we call gangways. Now, here's the thing. Most of the houses and buildings in Chicago is made out of brick because we had the biggest brick building, brick making company in the country. So when you running down a gangway or you talking through the gangway, everything echo. Remember that I said everything echo, because after their feet stopped running through the gangway, I couldn't hear anything. It was as if somebody had put noise cancellation headphones on my whole entire body. My childhood house is on 75th in Michigan, and it's right down the street from the 50-yard line. This is a busy street. 75th Street is busy. 76th Street is busy. We right by the expressway. I feel rumbles and grumbles from the expressway all the time. But at this particular moment, I hear and feel nothing. Being a kid, I'm not too alarmed. I shit, shower, shave, take my ass outside. But see, here's the thing. When I get outside, nobody is out there. I can see the cars going past down 76th Street, but I can't hear them. I get to walking down the block. I think I got like maybe 100 feet away from my front door, and something told me to look up at the sun. But see, that's the next problem. The sun wasn't the sun that I know. I have never seen the sun like this before. I was going to say I don't know how to describe it to you, but actually, I'm looking at a perfect example. Okay, you see this lamp? You see how like it's warmish yellow, but you could see like it's something bigger and brighter back there, right? That's how the sun looks. You know, like I know, you ain't supposed to be able to look directly into the sun without your retinas burning at some point in time. But here my ass is looking up at this. As I'm looking up, I get to walking. Because I hear my friends playing down the street. I don't see them, but I can hear them. Next thing I know, I hear my grandma voice telling me, Catherine, God damn it, Catherine, get your spirit back in this house. The fact that she said get your spirit back in this house made me turn around and double time back to that front porch. Do you hear me? But here's the thing. When I get to the front porch, I run in, I close the door. When I close the door, for whatever reason why, I open up my eyes and y'all, I kid you not, I open my eyes and I'm looking down cliff to some sharp ass rocks and waves. Haunted location number 2, the South Shore Cultural Center on 71st and South Shore. Baby, this bitch is lit. Do you hear me? It's lit. At night, you can see orbs dancing across the damn water or across the, a part of the, what is the golf course name? Whatever the golf course is on the south side, a part of that golf course, you can see little orbs dancing across the goddamn grass. If you go to the conservatory and you drive around to the back, you will see that it lets out into a beautiful beach. If you walk down the beach to the other end and you go up the little, it look like a little hill, that leads you to the lagoon. It's one of many naturally preserved lagoons in Chicago. If you keep on walking through, you will get to a plateau. And it's got like a couple of different little fire pits out there. And it just has beautiful scenery of the city. Me and my friend, we take our books, our blankets, something to eat, something to drink. We go out there and we lay in the grass. Somehow, some way, we fall asleep. Here's a no-no. You don't never go through trees that cross each other. If you have trees that cross and they leave an opening, 9 times out of 10, it's a mother opening to another dimension. You stay away from. What I did not realize is that we were literally laying under trees that was touching at the very top. Y'all, the goddamn spirits out of pen came into my dreams and was trying to make me jump over the edge. As I open up my eyes and I finally see the waves and the rocks and the water beneath me, everything around me starts to come back into play. Like now I can finally hear things, I can see things, I can feel the heat from the sun. But most notably, it's my friend screaming at the top of her lungs telling me to wake the up. Sis behind me grabbing my pants trying to pull me away from the edge. She literally chanting, Mama Angie, Grandma Minnie, somebody please, please from the afterworld release her. Child. The spirits almost got my ass. They almost got me. We sitting there. I'm trying to tell her what the happened to me in this damn dream. Cause baby, if you would have asked me, I was 10 years old back in the 90s playing on 75th in Michigan. She just so happened to like pull one of these moves and she look up. And she say, holy shit. Baby, when I tell you that the branches of these 2 trees literally made 3 arches above us. We broke camp, bitch. We broke camp. You ain't got to tell us. You Mr. Spirit, that's your house. You right. You got it. I'm talking about as soon as we left from the lagoon land, we turned around and we said a blessing prayer, hoping that nothing will follow us because we ain't want no mother. Now here's the crazy part. We done got out of the whole conservatory park, okay? We finna get on the bus. She say, girl, if that ghost would have did something to you, I'd have f*** that ghost up. When I tell you, the bus doors closed so hard on that woman and squeezed her, baby, when I tell you them doors were not open. The mother bus driver is like, what the he trying to pull the handle and shit. She's screaming, I'm screaming, and I say, she ain't mean it. Bitch, the door's open. Ho, 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 ho. We finna go to this church and get blessed, baby. We finna go get blessed, baby, because Mr. Man, Mr. Spirit, he with us. We can't have this shit going to the crib. We gotta go get blessed, bitch. Baby, Chicago is active on the paranormal side, especially around the water. The water don't never forget. The land don't never forget. You got to be careful around these parts. Yeah, you can't just worry about the alive humans. You got to worry about the unalive humans too.
I woke up to 2 large men entering my bedroom, asking me if I wanted to go the easy way or the hard way. Thinking I was being screamed for my parents, and as I was being physically dragged out of my house, I saw them crying in the hallway. There are over 150,000 children being sent to these facilities every single year, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and hundreds of children have the name of treatment. and I'm not going to stop fighting until change is made. The family and I have never been closer, and they had no idea what was happening behind closed doors in these places. And these places have just such deceptive marketing where the families have no idea. My parents just thought I was going to a normal boarding school, and all the brochures, they have these pictures of children smiling with rainbows and riding horses, and they had no idea. So I completely understand now, especially as an adult, just everything. And my parents and I have talked about everything, and it's been extremely healing for us to do that. And my mom has been coming with me to Washington, D.C., and there to support me. And it's just brought us so close together, which has been amazing. I've already changed laws in 8 states and all the way in Ireland. And next I'm going to be going back to D.C. in April to introduce the new bill. And we already have bipartisan support. So I am just praying that everybody does the right thing. 20 years I couldn't sleep at night as memories of physical violence, the feeling of loneliness, the loss of peers rushed through my mind when I shut my eyes. This was not just insomnia, it was trauma. I'm Paris Hilton, and I'm so grateful to announce the introduction of the bipartisan Stop Institutional Child. This groundbreaking, I am just praying that everybody does. I'm Paris Hilton, and I'm so grateful to announce the introduction of the bipartisan Stop Institutional Child Act. This groundbreaking legislation is only possible because lawmakers on both sides of the aisle chose to listen to survivors. But as long as the abuse is still happening, and it is, our job is not done. That's why we need you, every member of Congress, and every state official to join forces to stop institutional child. I'm a proud businesswoman, I'm a mom, I'm a survivor, and deep in my heart is a child who deserved to be protected.
It's not really hollow.
That's say 2023, so it wasn't recent. Did she keep up with it or did she stop doing this? I'm curious. I'm gonna have to look. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like parents should know this type of shit, or a child should feel comfortable to come tell their parent when some shit going left like that. Because I had a situation where some shit went left and somebody tried to do some things to me and I lost it. And it was under my mom's roof. That's a whole nother story. Tried to violate at the utmost. Nah, I start spazzing out. Moms ran in the room, step-pops ran in the room, and I'm straight direct with it. Man, this tried, and this, and this. Like, I was laying it out there, like, hell nah, bro. This what happened. But some kids don't feel that comfortable. But I feel like it's a parent's job to teach at a young age, like, whatever you go through, you can come to me and tell me. And I'm gonna listen to what you telling me. I care about what you telling me. Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with me or if y'all disagree. Like, let's have that conversation. That's crazy. This is crazy shit.
There are cities underneath the earth, and they've been down there. The people went down there at the fall of Atlantis. There's a whole city. It's got a sun. It's got water. It's got lakes. It's got animals. It's beautiful, and they're more highly advanced than we are. But that is inside of the earth.
And they live thousands of years old, I understand.
Oh, it's been down there since Atlantis. The survivors of Atlantis, some of them went into the hollow earth. The entrances are found underneath the pyramids of the world. They had the entrances to the hollow earth, and the pyramids were built on top of the entrances. This means the one in Egypt, the one in South America, anywhere there's a pyramid, there will be an entrance going down into the hollow earth.
We are slowly getting rid of all seeds in fruits and vegetables, which is a really cool thing for us, because once we have all of the seeds and everything you buy is seedless, then we control all of the crops, all of the growing, and then we can make seeds incredibly expensive so that only billionaires can have gardens. It's a really cool way for us to have a firm grip on all of the imports and exports of food inside society. So look for more seedless everything coming to you all the time.
Can't find seeded watermelon damn near nowhere.
What the
Or just a random Statue of Liberty?
Is that AI, y'all? Or is that real, Denver?
Story about a strange creature sighting in Utah, of all places. This came from a man named Aaron who said about 10 years ago he was dating this girl, and one night they decided that they were going to go explore some abandoned Tintic mines. He said, I don't know what Tintic is, but this was in San Quin in Utah, and this girl he was dating lived on the other side of the lake, and they were driving around the lake headed back to his house when she's like, why don't we just go check out these mines? I heard they're really cool. There's this cave system underground. And he's like, cool. He said he was originally from Idaho, so exploring the outdoors was nothing new to him. He was down. She puts in the location. They're driving toward the mine, and he said that she was describing it as basically this giant concrete opening with caves that go back, and then it just drops down into the mine. So he pulls off the main road onto this dark road, and he actually turned the brights on in his truck because he was like, it was so dark I couldn't see where I was going. He said it was like a dirt paved road that switched back 1 or 2 times before you get to the parking area. So as he's getting up to this clearing, his lights shine down on something on the road, and it's a deer, and it's completely white, like it was completely drained of blood. They're like, what the? And then he said he saw this small creature behind it, like kind of leaning over the neck, and it was probably raccoon size or like a cat. He said surrounding this parking area was like a bunch of rocks that were about 3 feet high, and he said this was probably just to mark the parking area. But as soon as the lights from his brights hit this creature, it runs off and hides behind one of the big rocks marking the parking area. They're both looking at each other like, what was that? Because he said that the way it moved was not like a raccoon or any cat he had ever seen. So they're kind of just sitting in the truck, like with their lights shining on this rock that this thing ran behind, and they see it peek its head around. And they couldn't really make out any of its features, but the eyes were glowing, so they knew it was there. And then it reached an arm around and then ran across the parking lot in front of them. And he said the way that it moved was all wrong. It was alternating between 2 legs and 4 legs, the way that a monkey would move, but its face looked like a shorter dog snout. He said when it ran, the back wasn't arched forward like a normal animal, it was arched backward. If I had to describe the fur, it would be like a dog with mange, but it definitely wasn't a dog. Like the extremities were very long, like a monkey, but it wasn't a monkey. This thing runs behind another rock. They both scream. He backs out. He drops her off, and then he said he couldn't sleep that night because he had to figure out what he saw. He said he's still freaked out by the encounter. He still doesn't know what he saw, but he did send me a picture of like the closest thing, so I'm going to show you guys. So here's your warning. This is what he sent me, but he said that the difference is that the face was covered in like mangy fur. It wasn't skeletal like in this photo. Also said that it had like more of like hands, not claws. Probably want to comment on this because he said his wife still rolls her eyes when she hears him tell this story, but let him know if you have any thoughts on what this was. I'm intrigued. I like the weird stories.
Did you guys know that Angela Bassett's stunt double during the making of Vampire in Brooklyn? And I'll be honest, I didn't even know about this until yesterday. Her name was Sonia Davis, and she after falling from 42 feet. Let me start this off by saying I love Vampire in Brooklyn, but I never knew this happened. For the stunt, Sonya was supposed to jump from 42 feet into an airbag. But instead, when she jumped into it, it reacted like a balloon and she bounced off and hit the ground. She was in a coma for 13 days before finally passing away. Her family would then sue Paramount and Eddie Murphy for $10 million. And to make things worse, Wes Craven, who directed the film, he advised her to do it without a safety line. I'm still surprised I never heard about this before. I'm pretty sure her family did get paid. I don't know if it was $10 million, but they definitely did get some money for it.
Damn. I ain't never heard of that. That's I ain't gonna lie, that's a classic movie to me. I know some people ain't gonna like it, but I like that movie. But I'm sure the family got paid, and they probably got some hush money too. That's probably why they got paid enough. That's probably why they ain't said nothing. That's probably why we didn't really hear about it. I'm sure somebody in the comments did though. But y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all Collective if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Man, I hope y'all doing good today. I hope y'all liked today's rollout. I hope y'all thought it was a banger. But until I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount.